we're going to have a look at using Cthulhu from X for Records to add in some arpeggiated sequences here. So I'll make a new software instrument track, and I'm going to copy down the chords we've made using Captain Plugin Suite. And let's actually just catch up with some housekeeping while we're here. So we'll name the melody and ARP channels. Okay, so let's place in, first of all, Cthulhu from X for Records. Okay, and then let's choose a sound to work with. So let's just use a retro synth from Logic. And I'm going to go for, let's try a simple analog lead. We'll bring down cut off. Let's make this a bit snappy. There we go. So we've got kind of a nice sequency kind of sound. Okay, so let's just solo this channel. So Cthulhu from X for Records is a similar kind of vibe to Captain Plugins in as much as it's a chord generator plugin, or can be a chord generator plugin. So we can choose from different chord presets down here. Now I do have a video series with Groove 3 on Cthulhu, so if you want to dive in detail on this plugin, then make sure you check that one out. But what we're trying to achieve in this video series is showing you ways that you can kind of circumnavigate a bit of a lack of knowledge of music theory to still come up with really nice musical ideas. And one way we could do that is to create melodies using arpeggiated sequences. Now the way that this works is it's going to take the chords that are playing, which obviously we generated in Captain Plugins, and it's going to arpeggiate them. So let's have a listen to how it sounds. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is put re-trigger on here. Now this is going to mean that it's going to re-trigger every single time it has MIDI sent to it. Okay, now there's different ways that we can create this arpeggiated sequence. Now you can see we have a little pattern going up here, and actually by clicking and dragging above this central line, we can audition different patterns. Let's actually hear it in context of the track. I'll just mute the melody we have playing here. So we could try a different pattern here. So now we're kind of going down and up. Whoops, we're going up and down. It's quite nice. So you can see that we can try these different patterns out. Now, there's nothing stopping us from being able to mix and match patterns. Let's try that. Now something we can also do is switch off steps in the arpeggiated sequence. Now let's switch off the piano. Now actually having the chords kind of suggested, or the notes of the chords suggested, rather than being a block chord, can be quite a nice way of composing, and definitely a nice way of creating contrast between different sections. So if we don't have the full chord playing and we just have these kind of stepped chords, let's listen to how that sounds. Or we could kind of flip between the two, or bring in the chords occasionally. Really cool. Okay, so let's look at a different way we could approach this. Let's mute the chords again. Now, if we go on the bottom half here, we can actually choose numbers. Now, these numbers correspond to the order of notes that appear in the chord. So let's say we wanted it to just be the first note. It's just going to play back the first note of the chord. And obviously we're flicking across to the pattern there, but let's say we did something like this. So we'll just go first note to the third note, back to the first note. And obviously the chords are changing, so these notes are going to change as well. So the third note of the first chord is not going to be the third note of the third chord necessarily. Let's just experiment with this a little bit further. Now this could be quite cool if we actually kind of go ahead and switch off some of the steps and create some syncopated kind of rhythms like so. Let's try flicking between some patterns as well. Now, the chords have got lots of space in them here, you can see, and that means we're actually getting a lot of time where the chords aren't playing. So let's do forced legato. So we'll keep them as chords, and you can see now we've got no space, so we should hear the arpeggiator doing a little bit more work. Put on some more of these steps. Really nice. Let's try putting a little bit of delay on here, see how it responds to that. Really nice. So you can see that we can jam out some kind of cool vibes with this. And let's try adding some swing. Take the delay off for a sec. We can change the gate time. So it's really snappy now. Let's try adding a little bit of reverb and see what it sounds like. So I like the sound of that, and of course what we could also do is maybe create some more space in here and make it a little bit more sparse. Let's try taking it up an octave. So you can see that we can come up with some really, really cool melodies this way using Cthulhu. And we're actually using Cthulhu in combination with Captain plugins because we generated the chord progression, remember, in Captain plugins. Okay, so that's going to be part one of our look at the arpeggiator in Cthulhu. We're going to carry on and have a look at some of these tabs up here in the next video. So just to recap, we obviously copied down our chord progression from here. And then we experimented with using different, let's switch this step on, different patterns for the arpeggiator and also different note numbers. So you're going to take different notes out of the chord and play them back. We switched off steps to create different grooves. We took things up an octave. We added some swing. We changed the gate time to make it more plucky. And obviously I kind of fine-tuned the sound a little bit with some tape delay and reverb using that retro synth kind of plucky analog lead kind of sound. And that gave us this kind of result. Obviously I changed it a little bit there. Okay, so as I said, in the next video we're going to have a look at pushing this a little bit further using some of these tabs up here. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.